on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren, and welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. It's hopefully raking and baling day, and it's in the morning. I'm checking the oil in my engine in my Kubota tractor, getting things hooked up. I've hooked up the wiring harness for our baler to the tractor, and we still got a rake first. I hooked up the rake yesterday, and I'm checking my oil level. Man, it's perfect. Perfect. I hooked up our rotary rake yesterday evening. I went to ted the hay yesterday evening because we got a shower on it the day before. And I made about one round of tedding it. Let me back up. The day that it rained, I run out as soon as the rain quit and tedded it. And then I tedded it the next morning early. And I was going to ted it again yesterday evening because it had some rain on it. And I made about one trip around the perimeter of the field and realized I was just wasting diesel fuel. It was dried. It was back out dried. Now the rain, we got about a 15-20 minute shower on it. Let's see, 2 days ago. And it rained there for about 10 minutes pretty good. So I don't think it hurt the hay very much. It did wash some of the color out of the hay, but I think that's about it. But yesterday evening I started to ted again, thinking because of that rain. Before the rain I was done with the tedding, but I thought yesterday evening I'll kick it one more time, just because it had had some rain on it. And I made about one lap around the hayfield and realized I was just wasting diesel fuel. It did not need tedded again. So we parked the tedder, and late yesterday evening I hooked up our brand new Mora rotary rake, an RM 288, 280/8. That rake is fantastic. This will be the second time I'm using it. Our first video when I used the rotary rake, I'm new to a rotary rake, so I'm gonna make some mistakes. I had some comments in that other video that possibly I was running that rake at too high of an RPM. I should slow it down. So this time I'm gonna try it. Last time I was running it at about 2200 RPM on my tachometer on the tractor. And it was suggested, very good suggestion, kind comment, not condescending or anything like that. Hey Darren, consider running that rake down about 1600 RPMs, and I think you might be even more pleased with it. So I'm gonna try that today. That was good advice from someone that's used rotary rakes. And I'll try it and see if it works for us. What works for one person don't always work for the next. But when somebody has used that piece of equipment and is familiar with it, take heed to what they say and at least try it, because it works for them, or they wouldn't be suggesting it to you in a kind way like that, one farmer to the next. So I'm gonna try it about 1600 RPMs. So we're gonna finish checking all of our fluids. I've got our baler wiring harness wired up to the tractor, and it's ready to go. As soon as we're done raking, I can hook up the baler, park the rake, and get started. Timothy seed head. It is a hot, muggy day. And I'm not gonna wear this ball cap for very long. You're gonna see me in a little bit with my sunshade big farmer's hat on to be out in the sun. But let's do a real quick twist test on this hay. I'm just randomly right here gonna pick up some of it. Get about a fist size ball here. We're gonna fold it and twist. Okay, it's still a little bit wet feeling from the dew. Look at that, it broke. All right, I think by the time we kick this into windrows and fluff it up, that it'll be ready. I made a little bit of a windrow yesterday evening just testing to make sure my tines on my rotary rake were adjusted right, and in order to test it, I just pushed a 20-yard windrow just to make sure. Let's go check that and that. All right, that even broke already just from folding it over. Okay, it sprung out decent. Look at there, right in two. Okay, I think it's definitely ready to put in windrows. And we'll go ahead and rake this field. This is the main hay field. And we'll go ahead and get it into windrows, and it can be continuing to dry until we're ready to bale. And our volume is way down. We done a video the other day, and Susan predicted 42 bales, and I predicted 48, I think. I've changed my opinion after testing it several times. I think Susan changed hers too. I think she said 32, and I said 38. I think the volume is way down from the drought, D-R-O-U-G-H-T. Man, have we been in a drought around here. And it's just decimated our first cut of hay. But it is what it is, and we're not going to cry over spilt milk. The good Lord's got plans for us, I'm sure. Things work out to the betterment of those that love Him, and we're going to rake this hay, get what we get off of it, and go from there and cross our fingers and ask God for favors, for rain, and a wonderful second cut. So let's get this off the field, get it baled today, hopefully. We'll do our normal routine. After we've got it windrowed, we'll hook our baler up. We'll go through this field in the windrows, and we'll make 2 to 3 bales. We'll check the moisture content and see if it can keep going or not. If it tests too high, we'll stop and roll them and bale tomorrow. If they test okay, we'll keep baling. But before we do that, we got to get it into windrows. So let's get our Mora rotary rake fired up and get ready to start raking hay. 3rd gen, your rooster's crowing.
And it is scorching hot today. We're under the heat dome. With the heat index, it's probably close to 100 today. But you gotta make hay while the sun's shining. Couple more rows and we'll be ready to hook up the baler. What he's raking now is really thin. Around the edges, the perimeter, they're fairly close to normal size, maybe a little thinner, But what's in the very middle, especially as you start to get off on the northwest side of this field, it's always been thin, but it is super thin right now. I hear another chicken. All right, we'll be back with baling.
Good grief, is it hot. Well, the raking is done. I'll tell you what, that rotary rake is, if it took me, and I'm just hypothetical numbers, if it took me an hour to rake this main hayfield with that inline wheel rake, it takes me 45 minutes to 30 minutes with this one. It's that much faster. And rakes so much cleaner and such better looking windrows. This hay is mediocre at best from the rain. The rain washed some of the color out of it. I think the nutritional value is still fair. It just washed some of the color out of it, but it's all raked in windrows. The rotary rake, 2 thumbs up. Still just as happy as a lark with it. We're going to get the rake parked over here in the barnyard and get our baler hooked up, and we'll be back with you as soon as we start baling all this up. We're gonna make 2 or 3 bales, check our moisture content. That will determine if we keep going. Be back with you soon. Okay, we're ready to start baling. We're gonna pre-oil the chain drives on this baler. And I'm just using an oil can. If you don't have an oil can, you bale hay, you need to get you one. This is nothing no more than 10W40 motor oil. We're just gonna lightly pre-oil our chains. Susan's sitting in the tractor seat because my PTO won't run unless there's a button. That tractor seat's got a sensor. So, honey, if you'll start the tractor. Okay, now pull that yellow lever back up. Okay, slowly let the clutch out. Okay, there's the only chain on that side. Now we're just going to slightly oil these. Okay, you can push the clutch in. Turn the PTO lever off. And cut her off. Okay, we have our chain pre-oiled, and I'm closing the covers back up. Also off camera, I greased, a couple pumps of grease in the bearings for the door hinges. And other than that, we are ready to start baling hay. I did grease the gathering wheels back when I reversed them. If you remember that video, we're fixing to find out if that was a catastrophic failure or a good idea. I ain't even adjusted them to the ground yet till I start going, and then we'll pre-adjust them. I did adjust them in here, but we'll see what they do out there actually in the field. And if they need adjusted up or down, we'll take care of that. I got the tools to do it. So we're ready to start baling. This hay has been, like I said, this is a Friday. And Wednesday evening, about 4 o'clock, it come like a 5-minute shower. It wasn't enough to matter to nothing. And I thought, thank goodness it quit. Our hay's not hurt. And about 7 p.m., it started raining again with a 15% chance of rain for that whole day. And it rained pretty decently for about 20 minutes. And it washed a lot of color out of the hay. The nutritional value, did that leach out too? Probably some of it. It is what it is. We knew when we cut this going in with the weather forecast these 95-degree temperatures here in the mountains, that produces evening thunderstorms, and we got one. Hello folks, I'm Chief Meteorologist Hernandez, and welcome to WXYZ. I am your professional meteorologist, and we're out visiting a local farm today, and the farmer wants to know the forecast for the next 2 days, and I'm going to give him a 100% accurate weather forecast. Here is my forecast for the next 2 days. It's going to clear off cloudy and come a dry drizzle. That's my forecast, folks, and it can't be wrong. Get your sunscreen and your umbrella, and put on your swimming trunks and your winter coat, and get ready for the weather that's coming. That's 100% accurate. Now back to our local sports reporter. On, and the hay is what it is. We'll deal with it. Like a friend of mine said one time in the middle of winter, when you don't have no hay, any hay's better than a snowball. And we are using our Hay Boss drawbar system. The cross timbers hitch and the Hay Boss A-frame hookup from Carver Equipment, and you'll see it working in the field. And these gathering wheels, these are the Chinese gathering wheels that we've had such issues with. We'll see if they do any better. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're going to put our pickup head down into the pickup position, the working position. Always make sure your chain goes on good and comes down straight. See right here, I've got a link kind of caught. There we go. The other side looks good. Okay, this gathering wheel's touching, and that one's touching. All right, we'll see what they do. We may have to adjust them as we go, or we may end up having to take them back off. Hopefully not. I'd like for them to work. All right, I'm gonna test my electronic wiring harness before I take off too. Okay. Working. All right, here we go. Here's my hay helper. Windrows. Okay, there's bale number 1. All right, we're going to check our moisture and see what we got. And it is getting breezy. And when it gets this hot here in the mountains, the summer, you can about guarantee a thunderstorm. Oh, I like that density. Give it a second to settle. 10-6. We're going to check it in multiple places. $10.3. $11.3. $10.2. Right back in the middle. Let's get it about in the middle, which will be about right there. Wow, 8.
And it don't go below 8, right?
8 is as low as it'll go, and it read 8 exactly. Okay, but I seen it go 8, 3, 2, 1, so it's close to 8. Right there, right beside of it, 9.4. We're good. We're gonna check at least the next 3, just to make sure. Okay, I'm gonna adjust these gathering wheels just a little bit. There we go, try that. You can see it's touching the ground, but not digging in. Okay, we'll give them another shot. They rolled with the hay. I'll see if I can't get my beautiful little camera girl, Susan, to zoom in on those occasionally. And you can see they're rolling with the hay. They're pushing it. Will it keep working well? Who knows? All right, let's keep going.
I went in the house a little bit ago and it was 97.6. So, and with the humidity, it's probably over 100. It's not been a fun day. But Darren is going around now cleaning up what was missed, getting the last little bit up. I'm going to change my guess. Originally, I think I said 41 or 42, and then the other evening I changed it to, I think, 36. Now, and I've not been counting, but he has a counter going. I'm going to say the bale that's in the chamber, if he gets nothing after that, I'm going to say 58, which is pretty good. It's not great hay, but I have found that those St. Croix ewes, they seem to eat hay more than our Katahdin did. They may just have been used to it, and the Katahdin weren't, but they're starting to get friendly. We'll walk down and look at them. There they are. You can see they're just all bunched up together. They've pretty much just intermingled with the herd, the flock. And there comes Sweet Waya. She always thinks somebody needs to pet her when she's here, or when you're here, close to her. Look at her tail. You have flies on you, puppy. We need to put fly spray on you again. I only see 4 sheep. We're missing one. Probably around the side of the shed. There's sweet old Oakley. Sweet old Oakley, who was almost 11. It's so hot the sheep don't even want to graze. I don't blame them. Back to the hay. See the sky. Sometimes you can hear a little thunder going on. So as soon as he empties what's in the chamber now, I think we're going to get the four-wheeler and trailer hooked up and start getting this stuff out of the field. Always racing the weather. It's going to manually release this one. We ran out of that green twine. We're back to the jute twine for the last couple of bales. Last bale for the day. load. Last 10 days. Whew, been an all-day job.
Well, I think me and Susan both feel like a baked potato, but it's done. First cut is all stored back in there. The shed wouldn't hold it all. Naturally, it never does. So, the rest of it's in the hay room here. Man, a lot more hay than I thought this was gonna be. My last estimate was 38. We surpassed that.
Good.
Well, our day is done. You feel like a baked tater?
I feel worse than a baked potato.
I tell you what, it's been probably close to 100 degrees today. I'd say 97, 98.
Yeah. I know it was 97 once when I went in the house.
Yeah, and it's just been miserably hot. I'm still not satisfied with those gathering wheels. I've watched a lot of times on my baler when those gathering wheels was going along, and I could just see it was putting pressure on those side plates. They are not cracked. I looked at them again to make sure they wasn't cracking, and they're not cracked. But I just, personally, and I know people that used them and had great success with them, I don't care for them. I just don't. And maybe there's something better coming soon and we'll try those. But the ones I've got now, if you'd like to have a set, send me an email. I'll sell them to you. I'm just not happy with them. And I'll make you a heck of a deal on them. So, we got, how many bales did we end up with off our main field? And it was pitifully thin in places.
I think you said the clicker said 56.
We had 56 bales. I guessed
shocked.
about half that. I guessed like 38. And we ended up with 56. So that was better than I thought. Still less than normal.
Yeah.
You know, a lot less than normal. But not half, probably, well, close to half. So it is what it is. We're just gonna pray for rain for a better second cut. Our test plot could be cut. We're standing here looking at it. Honestly, I guess it could be cut in another week.
Yeah, if it rains some.
Yeah, if we get a little rain, it could be probably cut in another week. It's some Jim Dandy looking hay. But we are dead beat tired. We've been at it. Oh, I went this morning early and picked up our sheep from the processor. Man, that was some good looking meat, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised. I didn't know you were taking them to get them processed. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it was good looking meat. They did a good job. The butcher did a really good, nice job.
Yes, it appears from everything we could see in the vacuum pack, it looked very good, very well professionally cut. And
when you took them, I told you I wanted 7 primal cuts, and then to do the rest in
what, the sheep?
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah, they done everything we asked for.
Shocked. Yeah, no, we've got some really nice Frenched rib slices, and I'm so tired I don't even know what I'm saying.
I know, you're just mumbling.
I kind of am.
Yeah, I know. So we're going to end this here. We're just deadbeat tired. I'll be back with you in a day or two, and we'll talk a little bit more about our first cut. It's all over with. Thanks for being with us today. Scattered footage, I know, but we were out in this heat, and it had almost 100 degrees. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it. And we pray God blesses you and your family, and we pray y'all have a fantastic day.